Welcome to Style Lessons, supplementing 11 key lessons in style, the basics of clarity and grace. My name is Dr. Burkett. Today I will discuss and illustrate how to make main characters the subjects of sentences. The top two principles of clear style are, drum roll please, make main characters grammatical subjects, the topic of this lesson, and make important actions verbs, the topic of Style Lesson 2. I highlight these two principles by making them a class learning outcome. Write in a clear style, making main characters subjects and making important actions verbs. Which sentence do you prefer and why? The Federalist argument in regard to the destabilization of government by direct democracy was based on their belief in the tendency of factions to promote their self-interest at the expense of the common good? Or the Federalists argued that direct democracy destabilized government because they had seen how factions tended to promote self-interest at the expense of the common good? Well, the first sentence is grammatically correct, true, but stylistically poor, nearly incomprehensible unless one reads it 4 times and analyzes it. But then the reader is doing the writer's work of creating the clear meaning, which the writer should do. The first sentence is not doing the reader any service. The first sentence has many nominalizations like argument. It has a weak passive verb, was based, and there are no characters. In fact, this pattern is a frigid cause sentence, composed of nominalizations, followed by an empty passive verb, followed by more nominalizations. It is the worst possible style. The second sentence names its characters who act through strong verbs. The Federalists argued that, and so forth. Readers can understand the second sentence because it follows our two principles of clear style: make main characters subjects and make important actions verbs. Readers prefer sentences in which characters are doing the action or do something rather than abstract sentences in which actions just occur. So writers must develop the craft of inventing characters who act through strong verbs. In general, it's best to choose the most specific character you can find. Ask who is doing what to determine or invent characters. Now we can invent or choose 3 kinds of characters to perform actions. There's flesh and blood characters, which are the best. For instance, David laments, Solomon thinks, Lewis writes, Jesus loves, and so forth. Or second, virtual characters, such as wisdom proposes, liberty calls, decency dictates. Or third best, general characters, commentators interpret, critics evaluate, one notices. Well, most readers want subjects to name flesh and blood characters, and that's the best choice. But often you must write about abstractions, and when you do, turn them into virtual characters, which are personifications that can serve as the subjects of verbs that tell a story. You may also try general or generic characters like researchers, readers, literary critics, writers, or even one. So when you draft essays, consider writing out your main characters, perhaps in the margins of your paper. Who is doing what in your paragraph? Then make those main characters the agents, that is, the grammatical subjects, in your sentences, putting them in the subject position of most of your sentences. As a result, your readers will understand you better for 2 reasons. Readable sentences have 2 main causes. First, readers can see easily who is doing what in your sentences. And second, characters give your sentences a consistent perspective or point of view that brings a sense of cohesion and coherence to your paragraphs. Remember our sample bad sentence, the Federalist argument in regard to the destabilization of government and so forth? Why is it so bad? Why does it confuse rather than clarify? Well, once we recognize a problematic sentence, we need to diagnose the causes, analyze it for possible solutions, and revise the sentence, applying the best solutions. We need to move through our 3 steps of revision. Diagnosis. What problems make the sentence so hard to understand? As already seen, the sentence has many nominalizations, a weak verb, and no explicit characters. In fact, the pattern is a frigid cause sentence composed of several nominalizations, an empty verb, which simply declares a state of being without action, followed by several more nominalizations. Moreover, the sentence hides the logical cause-effect relationship. Did you even notice it? Because the simple sentence with one clause cannot express causal relationships. It is the worst possible style to express cause-effect relationships. Second, analyze. What are the best solutions? Well, first, one needs a complex sentence to express causation clearly. So we need a main clause followed by the word because or since or when, followed by a subordinate adverb clause to explain the cause. The cause of the Federalist strong belief. Third, revise. Apply solutions. Rewrite the sentence applying our main principles. We should start with a character as the subject of the sentence, followed by a strong verb. For instance, the Federalist argued that, and we're on our way to clear, stylish writing. So let's analyze why our sample sentence is clear and readable. And here it is. The Federalist argued that direct democracy destabilized government because they had seen how factions tended to promote self-interest at the expense of the common good. Well, generally, this sentence is clear because its characters act through strong verbs. First, in the main clause, the Federalist is a flesh and blood character, a group of wise political thinkers in colonial America. The noun Federalist serves as the agent and grammatical subject of the main clause. I can see who the actor is and through the verb what the actor is going to do. In the second in the first noun clause, which acts as the object of the main clause, direct democracy is a virtual character that serves as the personified agent and grammatical subject of that clause. Third, in the subordinate adverb clause, they refers to the flesh and blood character, the Federalist. So the pronoun serves as the agent and grammatical subject of the adverb because clause. Fourth, in the second noun clause, which acts as the object in the subordinate clause, factions is a virtual character that serves as the agent and grammatical subject of the how clause. Moreover, we have formed a complex sentence to express cause-effect relationships, which we now communicate clearly for the writer and the reader. The more clearly the writer communicates, the better the writer understands, and the better the writer can explain that and communicate to the readers. The lesson is, writers create clear, readable style when they make main characters subjects and important actions verbs. You can do this simply by inventing characters to serve as the subjects of most of your clauses. Experienced writers avoid what's called metadiscourse as a matter of concision and style because metadiscourse is redundant and considered poor style. Metadiscourse means referring to your own thinking and writing process in your writing. Readers generally don't want or need a narrative of your thinking and writing process. They want you to communicate the results of your research and analysis process. So consider cutting these phrases. The thesis of this paper is, in this essay I will discuss. This section introduces. The first thing to say about it is the opinion of this writer that, it has been observed that, I believe that, and so forth. These phrases indicate, in effect, I have a topic, and I hope to think of something to say about it soon. Metadiscourse signals filler, or unrevised draft work. So instead of writing the thesis of this paper is, simply assert your claim. Place it where readers expect to find it, and support the claim with the results of your research and analysis. Writers help readers by writing clearly and directly and by deleting metadiscourse. Now, long compound noun phrases, or noun clusters of noun, 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 and so forth, not only feel lumpy, but hold meaning for few people. Clusters of nominalization signal professional, technical shorthand called jargon, but jargon is insider speak and turns off most people. So it's best to revise long compound noun phrases, to explain them to your audience. It is easy to do. Simply reverse the order of the nouns and add prepositions to connect them. For instance, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. In medicine, we can rephrase as heart disease due to continuing obstructions, or field training exercise in FTX in the military. We can translate as exercise to train soldiers in the field, or individualized education program, IEP, in education. We can explain to most people as a program to educate those with individual needs, or young earth creationism, YEC, in theology. We can explain that as a theory that the earth was created thousands, not billions of years ago. In summary, we can apply our top two principles of clear style in grammatical form. English is built on subject-verb-object syntax, and readers understand most clearly when subjects are characters, verbs are actions, and new information is found in the object of the sentence, that is, on the right side of the sentence. So seek to write with characters who act through strong, colorful verbs. Your readers will understand you and may thank you for your clear communication. See you at the next style lesson on the topic of cohesion and coherence. And blessings to you.